We've had AFP, the race leaders, Iris, the race leaders. Both of them have crashed out with engine failures, so I'm very nervous moment right now.
It looks like it's going to be that going forward as well, and I think we've just got the sound back as well, just in time to hear what you said over there. So welcome back to everybody. If you're just rejoining us for the final hour of the 12 hours here, Joshua Birch alongside in the commentary box with Tom Dillon, who's joined, who was racing in the 72 car. I hope you just heard him say as well that the nerves are up there with his teammate Sean Jones currently at the wheel. And this is Tobias, actually. Tom, the 1-2-3 car in the pit lane. Is this going to help you a lot? It is, because looking at that, that's going to close up on the gap. Might unlike myself.
Oh, that's definitely what we want. And then it's going to be a bit difficult. I don't know whether we want Sean to push for the last hour or not.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Do you want to go forward or not go back as well?
Well, I'm not being funny. Our target was P8 and we've already got P7, so...
Yeah, which one
whether P6 is something we want, I don't know.
Which one do you want to go for at the moment? But at the moment, there's contact there. As Sean Jones actually just made contact, I think, with the leader in GT3. Do you want to go on the radio and just shout at him a bit more? Oh, it was Sutton who was running in third.
Scared me quite a little bit there. But
I'm not
hopefully
surprised.
we don't get reported for that.
Oh, no, I think right. Oh, there's a car in the background. And it was, it's Joey Luring.
Barrier at Spoon.
Yeah, Joey Luring in the background in 6th overall is out. And we heard the race director there talk about the car that stopped. And that looks like the engine's gone off as well.
Oh, dear.
And, yeah, engine's dead. Dash is dead. That might be his race over.
Number 93, please return to the pits.
And there's confirmation from the stewards. Please return to the pitch. You're out. And that's a killer with 1 hour, 8 minutes to go. Well, and then there was 20.
You know, I don't know if Chris is listening or not, but if he wants to red flag the race right here, right now, I mean, we're more than happy to... we're more than happy, to finish off right here.
Pit stops have meant that, according to my monitor, Diego Moscato has taken the lead of the race, and Patrick Altel Lucas is in second. And after a very long pit stop, the Sim Racing 21, who was in the lead of the race, of Christopher Canek, has now dropped down to 3rd place. So that's on my timing monitor. That's on lap 347. On the stream, it's still showing Kayak as the race leader, so we might need to have a look at that. But on my monitor, Moscato leads the race. We're waiting for confirmation from the race directors. Is it the case? Well, actually, it's... yes, it is Moscato. Moscato leads. So a big stop there has cost the 21 the lead of the race. I think he's still in the pit lane, actually.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see Val in the lead, actually. Very, very good team. Indeed, in fact, when they reformed, the middle of 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
It was for this R Factor 1 league, and it was actually kind of as this pseudo junior team for us. So.
Oh right.
They've very quickly overtaken us and become much better than us, which is a weird turn of fate, I guess.
Is that more annoying or okay by you?
Well, I mean, it's absolutely fine. It's all good fun, isn't it, really? So.
Well, Valley Esports finished 7th last time out at the Sebring race, the 12 hours. They were, fortunately, 8 laps down, only completed 211, and they had a total of 9 points on the board going on there as well. So, Moscato leads the way, followed by Attila Lucas and Christopher Canek down in 3rd place as well. Your driver, however, Tom, in the 72, is closing in on lapping himself from Tobias, according to this monitor. So I'd watch out for that as well.
Very, very happy to see that, actually. And I should mention, to clarify, Val isn't a junior team for us anymore. It's just that they used to kind of be, and it was good fun, actually. They won the championship back then. And it's good to see them new heights now, actually, in their number 90. I think we've got yellows in Sector 3.
We have got split second yellow just being put out there as Alfie Bevan in the the GT3 category gets out of the way. And as you can see, the top four at the moment with the grid finder showing us the classifications in the race. I'm trying to count how many people are out of the race at the moment, and it's getting quite difficult because we've got 24 still running, but we're down 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've only got 20 cars left actually on the track. And they're all running, but at a slower pace, all bar your team, which is just at the fastest first sector of 40.5. So I think Sean's pushing out there, and I don't know if you've told him that.
Oh, dearie me. That's probably the most unfortunate time I've ever seen my team pushing.
Yeah, it's the last hour after a long, long race. You sort of just want to just take it easy. But who's your money on then for the win? Because we've now got 36 seconds between the top two. 38 separate them two. So yeah, who's your money on for the race win?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Moscato to get the win here. Actually,
yeah,
I think. I mean, he showed really good performance last time out for 360 Motorsports, and yeah.
I wouldn't put the money past him either. I think Moscato's got a good chance here, running in the Valley Esports Car 90. And we had a brief yellow again in the second sector. We're watching now as, actually, this is your race leader of Diego Moscato in the 90 car. Beautiful livery, actually. Reminded me a lot of the Team Netherlands car in World Endurance Championship as well. The yellow and black running orders. It's lovely, lovely order. But running at the moment, 180 kilometers an hour at the top, coming through Degner. What's it going like? What's it like then, Tom, going through Degner in an LMP car?
Sorry, that was talking to Sean about the engine wear.
Oh, it's all right.
It's been a bit of a concern. He wasn't quite aware of the other people having engine issues. Anyway.
Oh, yes. How is it? The car good still?
The car seems to be going pretty fine, yes.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. What I was going to say, what's it like driving through the two Degners in an LMP car? Is it scary? Because you can't really see much.
It's probably the best corner of the track, actually. The car's quite planted through there. You can really, you can really use the grass on the entry to Degner 1.
I was going to say, we see a lot of people cutting the inside at turn 1 a lot tonight. And I thought, yeah, that was a nice opportunity. Tell you what, one thing this has done with first time myself commentating on the eSport League here for EERC, it's made me really miss R Factor a lot more than I already did. I played a lot of the original one when it came out in 2005 and going forward, so it's making me want to get back into it.
Well, I'd talk about how much I played the original R Factor, but I wasn't born when it came out, so that's one of those things. But I have played quite a lot of that game before I got into R Factor 2. And I have to say, it's probably one of my favourite sim on the market, for sure.
Completely. I completely agree with you as well. I mean, I got, as I mentioned earlier on when Edward was in the commentary box as well, the fact is that got it free when my brother bought a laptop, got 2 copies of it as well. So 2 free copies of the original game, one for him, one for me. He never played it. But then as well, we got a massive sort of run and I just absolutely went mad with it for like 4 or 5 years. It was fantastic.
Well, the original R Factor still stands up today, actually. I've been doing a little bit of driving on there when the mods are only on there.
Yeah.
As I think Moscato's under a little bit of pressure, is he not? From the
He is. He's lost a couple of tenths, actually. So Attila Lucas is now 32 seconds back. And by my calculation, there is still another stop to go.
Yes, there's definitely another stop to go. It's we've been pretty strict about ours. The fuel tank here can last about 50 minutes, but we've been pretty strict and found that because of the tyre wear, if you stop every 40 minutes, like you would on a normal track, it's better anyway.
Right.
So you can, I mean, the pit window opens pretty much any time in the next 15 minutes, I'd say.
This is going to get the tasty then. And if that rain as well, that's predicted to come down. I know your radar's saying 10 minutes to go, but you don't expect to go off slick tyres.
I will double check our radar, actually.
Lovely. I just don't want to get, like, we get rain. Actually, it's getting slightly brighter out there as well, so we might end this race in bright sunshine, although I doubt it. It's been
yes,
night race.
we're quite clear until tonight, actually.
Lovely, lovely. So this might actually be a complete dry race, which is good because I understand that not everybody wanted rain after having it for the previous 3 races, and especially it massively affected Sebring.
Well, yes, Sebring was actually quite funny. It's probably the fastest I've been anyway, in the rain. And we're looking at Dark Sky, Roberts. It says I can't see much rain on Dark Sky actually.
So we've got quite good actually. Oh, that's great news.
Oh, I can see some rain kind of. It wouldn't be north. It would be west of the track. But other than that, it seems pretty safe.
Well, that might just be the best news we've heard, because the last thing we need is rain being put into the mix with cars struggling to make it to the end of the race. As you said, it's unusual as well to have these many failures in a 12-hour race when we know the cars can do 24. But look at the draw of racing.
I think everyone's kind of been pushing a little bit more, because obviously the engines are very, very precarious in 24 hours, whereas in 12 hours you can kind of run them a little bit more. But I don't think anyone expected them to be quite this poor in a 12-hour race.
Out of the 37 runners, we've only got 20 left. That's the big shocker as well. And Pastor, who is 13 laps now back after retiring, I don't think he's actually got dropped behind the rest of the order. Alfie Bevan returns to the track in the Ferrari GT3. Here he is, running second overall. And he's now, I think, looking at that monitor, he's about a lap behind Martin Malati. So they've lost that gap already. But actually, returning to that, with the top 2 falling out in LMP2, it means in the last hour, we have 4 cars on the lead lap. So we've got 4-way fight for the win if they all start closing up. But I think you're right with what you said earlier, Tom. Attila Lucas is closing in on Moscato.
Well, I think 34 seconds is a very mighty gap to get in 56 minutes. I don't see him doing it, actually. Unless there's an issue with pit stops, I think Moscato's got this pretty safe. He's just going to hope that he doesn't have any incidents whatsoever.
Hypothetically, if we get a code 80 and Lucas is already pits under that and Moscato doesn't, that's going to cost Moscato more than 35 seconds.
Absolutely. We had I'm going to use Le Mans as an example again. We had a code 80 at Le Mans early in the race, and we went from P5 to P11 just from not capitalising on it.
Wow. That is really shocking as well. So they've got to do it. So Moscato has got no choice if that code 80 comes out but to pit. He has to do it immediately.
It depends. In about 5 minutes' time, he could probably push it to the end if he was conserving. But other than that, as we've got Ross joining the commentary box.
Oh, hello, Ross. Welcome up.
Evening. Or morning, I guess.
Well, yeah, morning from us here, but evening for you, I believe. You're more the elder statesman than I am in the commentary box, so welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing perfectly well, thank you. Tom,
Excellent.
you good? I think Tom might be talking to his team actually for a split second.
Reading, yes. Yeah. So I've been watching bits of the race here and there, and but you've been going the whole time, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've only missed 40 minutes of the race because I did MotoGP, but I've done the whole thing. Yeah.
Your voice must be rather dead, Joshua.
It does feel ever so slightly. I can feel a slight graveliness coming to it, but I'll be all right.
Keep this fluids going.
I think with that, I'm going to go back to my team. Thank you very much for having me for an interview. It's been very, very fun, actually.
Well, thank you very much for joining us up in the commentary box, Tom. I hope you have a great race for the end of it.
Yes, wish you the same. Hope you have a very good last 50 minutes.
Thank you very much. And that was Tom Dillon, who's coming up into the commentary box, and now Ross Smith has joined us in the box for the last 54 minutes. So you say, Ross, you've been watching quite a lot of it.
Yeah, bits here and there. There were the last time I caught it was a few hours ago, and I don't remember there being quite as many DNFs down in the GT3. Was that more recent?
Quite a lot recently, yeah. We've now lost I think about a quarter of the field in GT3. We only have 7 cars left in GT3 and only 20 overall in the whole race. It's been an absolute shocker. And many of them come in the last hour, actually, especially with the 99 car being kicked out with engine failure and the 87 with Giuseppe Pasto at the wheel. In the wheel, getting caught out. So, yeah, 95 car at the moment. David Gerber has taken over. There's the 70 car. And to give you a bit of a run-up, Ross, the cars that have been troubled mainly in this race, the 70, the 232, which is now out of the race, and the 137. They're the cars that have been causing the most trouble today.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who was it there in the when they were running at Daytona that was causing all those problems. Was that what was the name of that group?
Give me a second.
The blue something. Trying to remember the name.
Oh, they're running in this race as well. It was the blue. Oh, we got a spinner and the 138 round. And that's again at Spoon Curve, and that's been another famous spot this evening. Royal Racing, Royal Blue, something like that? Something Royal Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were the ones causing drama again earlier on in the race.
Yeah, they can't tell if it's just because of the youth of the team, or if it's just sort of maybe some of the background from where those drivers are coming from, but it's unfortunate because they actually have some pretty decent speed when they're actually putting it down.
They've been having some decent ones as well. You're right. I think it is a combination of the youth of the team as well that we've been seeing. I don't think they've actually. I think they've actually retired from the race completely now. The blue team as well. I mean, a quick look through the order. Yeah, they have retired earlier on. About 200 laps ago, it says here. So that's not great news at all. But yeah, they weren't having a great run overall. But it's been a decent sort of strategy. We've just had, actually, for the first time, after having pretty much security in the LMP2 field, with, first of all, the 99 car leading for AFP, and then we had, Christopher Canex leading in the Mugen Sim Racing 21, but then he ran into trouble in the pit stops, had a 2.5-minute stop. That's dropped him behind Diego Mostaco as well as Attila Lucas, and out of the race went the 99. So it's completely shifted up the order. So now 4 cars on the lead lap in LMP2, and Attila Lucas going after Moscato with 40-second gap. In your experience of commentating on this league, is that possible to close 40 seconds down in 50 minutes?
Absolutely, yes.
That's the answer.
Yeah, you could be, if you've got at least a lap, within a lap. I mean, I remember it was, which race was that? Where Martin Hemmingson was leading easily and just had a massive issue on the second to last lap, I want to say.
Was it Le Mans?
It might have been Le Mans, yeah. And just totally gave up the entire race, fell back to third, and it was on between one of the Seawolf entries, and I can't remember who the other team was during that one, but it immediately turned on in the last 5 minutes of the race. It's, it should have been wrapped up, and it wasn't. So yeah, if you're on the lead lap and you've got an hour to go, anything can happen. It could be your race.
I'm looking forward to the end of this then, because we have got an absolute cracker boiling if this is it. And especially with the cars, driver fatigue coming into effect as well. Most of these cars have done the entire race without really any problems. A couple of them have had a couple of cosmetic work done. And I tell you what, actually, cutting across that, the 23 car at the moment was on fire at the start of the race and after an accident, and it's still out on the track.
I must have missed that. Wow, yeah. When did that happen?
Oh, I think it was hour 2, so the second hour in we had that just before it hit nightfall. The car bounced off coming out of 130R and did an Alan McNish and flipped, and then it caught fire. So yeah.
Oh, man.
Very exciting race. So we've had a couple of cars doing some flips here today, and mainly coming out of 130R, and then a couple of them, the little sleeping policeman bumps that we get at the exit of Casio Triangle, the last 3 corners. They keep running over them and getting launched up in the air. So it's quite funny to see the Bentleys do it.
Yeah, those things are, they're such a hassle to drive anyway, but I mean, if you get them upset, if you don't have that suspension tuned to be nice and soft and squishy, yeah, you'll cruise right into the atmosphere.
Sean Jones as well in the 72 car, just going back on right height and having a nice and, as you say, squishy setup. He has got the car set up so rigid as well that it's actually causing him a problem. Because when his co-drivers get in, they like the car to slide around at the rear. So it's causing an issue.
Yeah, that's always... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, he wasn't even meant to drive the car today. He's done a very much 11th hour deal.
That is always difficult. Yeah, bringing in any new talent just before the race to fill the slot. Because, I mean, you develop so much of the car with the other driver. At least when you have a successful program, you have to really put it all together as a team.
Absolutely, yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work is what everyone has always said about motorsport as well. And that was the 137 car. I think the teammate to the 138 we're seeing now with Valencia. So that 137 car, as I said to you when you came on the commentary, causing all the drama here today. And Gabriel Schaffler back in control of that one. And there it is. Yep, confirmed. He was off at the back of Spoon Curve and he's off again. Now, I thought that was going to be a big one, but he saved it.
Yeah, like you said, off of 130. It's such a hard spot because you just have little rises in the road there. You got so much speed, and we're into the pits. He might have caught some damage, or he's just getting tires caught up there.
Well, if he has got damage as well, he went to the last 46 minutes where if he wants to, he can just push it to the end of the race for fuel. So that could be a good one. Alfie Bevan running in 2nd place at the moment, the 35. Oh, then we come back to the 72, running P7. And I'm still looking at that gap. It's 39 seconds. It's now 40. So it's increasing and decreasing moment by moment.
Yeah, all it takes is just a little bit of lap traffic catching you out the wrong spot. It could send you off track. You don't even have to have a big moment, but you could just be caught out in a gravel trap just trying to get yourself sorted. Yeah,
so,
it can all come undone.
With the R Factor 2 as well, and presumably as well, you've been commentating a lot longer than I have, a way lot longer than I have, with this being race 1 for me. Have you actually done any racing on the R Factor 2 as well yourself?
Yeah, actually, I just I did a race today after coming back from my trip. So an 8-hour drive, and then I then did it was 100 minutes of Brands Hatch and Historics, and
oh my,
yeah, that was
Brands Hatch,
yeah. It's those longer races that you wish you had a nice, comfy rig, and
yeah. But Ross, how mad are you then to do 8 hours of driving, come back and think, oh, let's do some more driving, but this time let's put it in a Le Mans for 100 minutes?
Well, it wasn't in the cards. The wife was supposed to be driving, but she had a bit of vertigo earlier on and said, well, could you do this? And so there I was.
Stop for video.
Oh, that was race control saying we've got a car stops, and it looks okay to me at the moment. Gone green again, so I can continue. I feel for your wife there with vertigo. Yeah, I know how that can be sometimes.
It's very disruptive. I would never push her on that. That's a terrible thing to have to go through. Absolutely.
And we've now got the shot of the retirements there, the class of 2021 retirements. And that is an unusual little sight. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in shot there out of the numerous retirements. Well, see, it's 20 winning. So the 17 cars that are out of the race, there's 5 that have caused the most problems.
It's always disappointing to see any retirements during an endurance race or endurance series, just because the team puts so much effort into trying to get these things ready for the races, and especially when it happens early on.
Oh, well, that 5 was our first retirement with a smash into the wall, I think coming down towards turn 1, I want to say. No, 130R. 130R. Backed into it and sort of did what Alguersuari did in Formula 1 in 09, just rip off the rear wheel.
Yeah, that's a huge shame. I had one of those with Aiden Coleman, actually. I was riding with his team for the 24 Hours of Daytona, and our first pit stop, the pit road box was inoperable, so I couldn't get service, and yeah, it was a very quick race, you could say.
Oh dear. And that's such a disappointment because with the Daytona 24 Hours, you do a lot more practice beforehand as well. So that's what, 4, 5, 6 hours of practice before going in official sessions, and countless hours beforehand. So I hate it when races end like that.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who goes through that where it's out of their hands, it's one thing if you've been it yourself because at least you had a chance. But
yeah, I know as well. I can know exactly what you mean as well. I think that's what we had a problem earlier on actually as well with several of the drivers who were in the teams. I think we had Jessica Parker on earlier on in the broadcast, and she never got to drive in the race because her teammate unfortunately crashed out. So I felt really bad for her as well, the fact that she never got to race out there.
Yeah, Jess from Rookie Monsters got to see some of their conversations back and forth with what they're planning to do for the season. It's they're just trying to find some crew members. Pedro, I think it was Galez. I have to remember his last name. Yeah, he was in there, and it was her, and I think I can't remember who a couple of the other ones that had on deck, but.
I'm desperately scanning my notes sheet at the moment to try and find you the names. Nearly got there, hang on. That's entertaining for all the viewers listening out there. But there's still green flag running at the moment, and the gap's still 40 seconds between the top two at the moment with the 90 car. Oh, hang on, this is second in the race into the pit lane. Patrick Attila Lucas in, rear tyres getting done, and not really that much of work, so this is looking good. Fuel stop now to the end of the race, so this could take a couple of minutes. That might actually drop him down behind Canex, and it has, and Zoltan Boda. So Christopher Canex up into second position, Zoltan Boda to third, and Attila Lucas down to fourth place as the yellows out in the second sector already. And how much as a driver then, Ross? You into the last hour as well. I was talking to this a second ago with Tom as well. You're into the last 40 minutes now. How much are you going to be panicking about the car making it to the end of the race?
Well, Josh, I think at this point, if you've made it this far, you're just hoping that you can hold it together and not have a silly moment, either with traffic or with. If you're trying to chase someone down, just throwing it off into a corner too hard or scrubbing the wheels off. I mean, it's been 12 hours now. You just want to bring it home.
Absolutely, yeah. Have you ever had that unfortunate accident in the last hour of a race?
Oh, countless times.
Oh, I know. It always stings. It always stings. I remember one time I was doing a league race as well, and got to, I think, was it 3 laps to go, and I was running in third place, and safety car came out, and I hate the safety car, by the way. I think everybody's agreed with that. And I got nerfed on the restart, and I dropped all the way down to 11th, and I really, really hated myself. I punched my steering wheel so hard that night, yeah. But yeah, I know.
That's the mistake I was just talking about.
And that was, I think, with the 137 car again getting caught up with Alfie Bevan, and it was the 138 car actually. It was Mario Valencia, but the other one. So those 137 and 138s were getting really in trouble, and really, I don't think that was the mistake there from Alfie Bevan at all. That was coming across just completely uncontrollable from the LMP2. What did you make of it, Ross?
Yeah, it looks like they just kind of squeezed into the same spot.
Wasn't enough room for two.
No, Alfie wasn't really. I mean, he was just holding this line. It looked like, but he was just trying to keep pace, and yeah, they gathered it up though. It didn't look like there was really much harm done.
Luckily, and I don't think the stewards are going to inquire into that one as well. Although we haven't had it. Actually, we've been quite lucky. We have not had any race direction since 11:38 UK times. That was nearly 2 hours ago. in race time since the last stewards' inquiry. So they've been quite well behaved.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do see a note here where some of the stewards were logging off. Yeah, and as you said, the Royal Racing 92 seemed to have a run in there with the 232 of Heimdall, and
that was absolutely hilarious. They sort of they mounted each other. I mean, it was quite PG-13, I might add as well. And I said to Edward Hunter, who was in the commentary at the time, that if we just played Careless Whisper in the background, we would have had to take the show off the air. But it was quite active, I can tell you that. That's the one thing as well. And they said can't really penalise lag. It happens. And I thought, yeah, the stewards there were a bit cheeky earlier on, I think, as well. If I file back, because there was another message for one of the other penalty cars as well. I think it was. I'm flying back through. Hang on, because it was quite funny. I think it was the 137. Yes, it was the 137. I think, who got in trouble for not being on the team speak with the rest of the team and everything. And then he continued driving dangerously. And the stewards actually mocked him and gave him a drive-through penalty for continuously driving dangerously. I thought that's just completely bizarre. So the stewards have been in a happy mood tonight. And they've also been heckling us as well in the commentary box, which is fun, because they've got the ability to talk over us. They've got us on, so they keep clicking their mic and whistling at us and everything. So, yeah, that's been funny.
Good spirits, good, yeah. I did catch some of that. Couldn't really go back and listen to it too much because I was driving real car at that point. So
they've done it again now. They've just clicked on the mic and started whistling as well. Chris has just done that as well in the team speak. So they're keeping Race Direction awake as well.
Yeah, Chris doing a great job putting this all together and keeping things going.
Absolutely as well. So don't cut us off, Chris. Although feel free to come on at the end of the show and say well done and everything, and we'll let us congratulate you as well. Yellow in that first sector again. It's vanished as quickly as it came. Martin Novak's coming into the pit stop as well from P5, and that's going to drop him further back because Tobias in the VRT 123 squad was up to P5. That's pretty much going to stabilise where they need to be. But Zoltan Boda pits. That's going to let Martin McGurley go up to 4th place in the 95 as well. So final pit stops, they'll switch back. They always will.
Yeah, they'll definitely jump each other here. And Zoltan Boda, I'm trying to remember if it was the Team Hungary, the Pimps before. I thought it was, but I might be thinking of a different Zoltan.
No, I think you are right. I think Ed mentioned they were that before they changed. So I think you're right with that one. There's Martin McGurley in P4 at the moment. Just going to lap and take 3rd away from Zoltan Boda. Oh, race leader in. Diego Moscato. And he's got 63 seconds to Christopher Canuck, so this could be quite something to watch. 65-second stop. Could be possible. Although this is P2 of Canucks, and he is coming up towards Spoon, which means he's got another 45-50 seconds left. I'm thinking Formula 1 car territory there.
Yeah.
He's got a lot further to go.
Ooh, big wiggle there. I wonder if he's seeing him in the pits and trying to... He's probably just holding onto his tires at this point.
He might box the end of this lap as well, so that could be an advantage to come down pit road and get some more tires. So what's the rest of the day after this for you then, Ross? Because I'm not sure what time it is over there.
Oh, it's only 8:30 here. There's...
Oh, plenty time left.
Evening's just started.
Yeah, it's 20 to 2 in the morning here in the UK.
Uh-huh.
So I think you don't need to be Miss Marple to work out what's happening next. It's sleep for the end for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But
Are you still to win tomorrow? Waking up at maybe noon?
Sounds about right, yeah. But I've got MotoGP on as well, so that's an earlier start than usual for the MotoGP. So I'm non-stop this weekend actually. So it was fun to come and do this 12-hour race. But yeah, I think I've set my alarm actually for 11. So do not be disturbed in the front of the door. Sounds like you might need the long nap though.
Oh no, I'm good. I was able to catch up after my race, and I actually just woke up a little bit ago, so I'm all set to go.
Sounds fantastic then.
Yeah. Now you guys have been doing a great job. Ooh, a little tight there. The hairpin.
Is that the race leader in GTE?
Yep.
Yeah.
GT3. I was gonna say for the LMPs, that might be 3rd place.
I think it is. It's Suto again. The same 2 cars as well with the Mudron cars. Yeah. But yes, well, thank you very much for saying that we did a great job as well. And 3 commentators to begin with. It should have been about 4 or 5, wasn't it? But unfortunately, one of them had to be rushed off to the hospital, and hopefully he's okay. I think it was Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, great to have everybody on board, and signed up for the last stint as well. Stayed a lot longer than I was supposed to, and just thought, oh, well, let's just stay and help out where we need to be. Everything got messed up. I thought I've got nowhere else to be. I've loved every second.
I know that the broadcast is richer for it, and yeah, it's been going very well. I was gonna ask, as far as the track cuts go here, are they? I don't remember Suzuka as far as how stringent it was for staying on track.
We've had a couple of warnings, especially mainly during qualifying, but they've cut. All of them have cut the inside line coming into Degner at 8 and 9. And they've taken a very wide line through the S's. That's really been it. They've all been quite okay with track limits. We haven't had a warning for track limits so far during the race. So they've been decent.
And it's a fairly self-regulating track, as you were saying, with the with those big old sausages over there. That's,
yeah. I'm trying to think of what the American version of it would be, but I think Sleeping Policeman sort of covers everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's it is pretty much just driving over a dead body lying in the road when you hit those things.
I must admit, I would love to know who first coined that phrase and thinking, yeah,
policeman, yeah.
How many policemen did they have to run over? It's a strange thing, but every time I think of Sleeping Policeman, I think of Chief Wiggum from The Simpsons. Don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why, but that's all I get.
Well, that's kind of his MO.
Yeah. Oh, the pig nose as well. Too many stereotypes to get in touch with that one, but yeah, I do miss that as well. I must try and watch more of classical Simpsons more.
Yes, the original, the good seasons, first 10 or so seasons.
Right about first 10, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as it passed when Seymour Skinner wasn't really Seymour Skinner, I think that's when you cut off and say goodnight.
Yeah. Yep, that's almost exactly right. We see the 2 leaders here now going through. That was pretty tidy.
This is actually closing up because Diego Moscato has come into the pit stop and has done a stint, and now the top 2 are 1.7 seconds. Is a good spot there from Ross as well. You're absolutely right. They're 1.8 seconds. So now the battle is on with half an hour to go. So all 11 hours and 30 minutes, you may as well just tear up, not watch it, watch the last half hour.
Yep.
I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. It's like no one's going to watch the rest of the broadcast, and we're going to go in the last half hour. Oh, this is going to be close.
The races, and these races are like that almost entirely, where you'll just have, just it's almost like a hurricane, where you just have a flurry of activity and then it's just dead. Yeah. And you think, oh, well, everything's out of sequence. There's nothing really going on. And then all of a sudden it just kicks off again.
Exactly.
Out of nowhere.
That's been exactly what this race has been as well. First 2 hours, it was all crash, bang, wallop. The first 40 minutes, you couldn't breathe for the amount of action that was happening. Then it all went quiet. And the last 2 hours, it's all just been kicked off and gone again. You were absolutely right with that. Is that like it for every endurance race on this channel as well?
It's been more the case than not. I don't know what it is where where drivers just either it's because of the lineups, the way that it just happens to kick off, and they have their best drivers going in there, or if it's because people are getting tired and things get sloppy, and I don't know what it is, but it always seems to be that way.
That little magic seems to just sprinkle its way on. And I really, if the TV directors are listening, I would really like to focus on the top two in the lead of the race at the moment, because that's 1.8 seconds and it is closing round. Here we go. Look, the TV directors, they've been magical here today as well. They're really focusing where we need to, because that's the 138 car, I think, stuck in the middle of these two, so that's not for position. But all right then, Ross, who do you think is going to win this race? Is it going to be Moscato or Christopher Canex?
Well, Moscato, because Kiana, I think, has nice and out of the way there. Well done.
That was good.
Yeah. Doesn't the 21 still have to come in for fuel one more time, or?
I'm not too sure. I think no, he's already been into the pit lane, so he's fine. I think Moscato came in as well just before. That's why the gap was 40 seconds. Now it's down to 1.
Oh, that's a tough call. I'd want to say probably Moscato, just because he's on a fresher tire still, but there is still a lot of pace in that second place. I don't know. This is a tough call.
This is very close, and it's going to be, I think, another long battle, because I think Tom said just before he left the commentary box as well that he didn't see this happening. Didn't see the gap closing. You came in and said the gap is going to close. The gap has now closed. I think this is where we're going to see it. Still 1.4. Yellow third sector. Zoltan Boda at the moment.
I think we lost. Koenig, I thought, just went. Did we just see them
go
to the pits?
Oh, that's another stop, because he's already pitted, and we know he pitted because we saw him pit. So this is another pit stop for Christopher Canex. Why has he come in now? Is it? That's must be wrong. We must have been watching the wrong picture, because that is clearly the stop to the end of the race. Well, that's disappointing. We were giving up all there. Yeah, just went into the pits. Yeah. Edward Hunter just said that. Oh yeah. Look, I swear, everyone swears that happened. Wow. Oh well.
So that'll open it up, and then Maguli will be able to close in probably pretty quickly. Shouldn't be able to pass if all goes well, but that second place will be on.
Yeah, so the battle for second is going to be it, and maybe even third. Looking at that as well, if Boda gets close enough, although he's 50? Is he 59 seconds back? 57.4 according to that monitor. This is the timing monitors now. Update to show us the actual graphics. Okay, so Moscato and Martin Maguli goes up into P2.
Where do you meet? Oh, yeah, there we go. Riemann.
Worst time to have a sneeze as well when he's trying to commentate.
Christoph Zellin, yeah. Final time.
And how much pressure is he going to be under as well? Because he's running P9 at the moment, getting some points on the board after a struggling race. The 66 car as well didn't do that well back in the 12 hours of Sebring either. If I just take a look at my notes I've got in front of me. I think we were talking about it earlier on, actually, in pre-qualifying. It wasn't that good. It was a DNF. Thought it was. Definitely wasn't that good.
Just looking them up on the charts for points right now. I'm not even seeing them on here. Where are
No, I'm not. This is the number 66 in the LMP2. They're not even on the board, you're right.
Oh, there they are. 18th, the Futures.
Oh, yes, Future Esports. 1.5 points. So it's going to get 3.5 at the end of this.
Down there with 360, which I saw also earlier, and that was...
Just literally that as well. They've had a shocker as well throughout this one. So many drivers and teams could have won this race. They had the opportunity to. Engine failures have all just sort of dropped out as well. It really has been a bizarre one with 23 minutes to go already. up towards the 130R. Have you ever taken 130R flat, Ross?
I think I've only ever been on it in GTs or something not terribly quick. I'm trying to remember because I haven't been on Suzuka all that much.
Yeah, it's not really one that everybody rushes to, I've found.
No.
Which I always find bizarre.
My first time with Suzuka was actually in NASCAR stock cars.
Yeah, Alfie Bevan has spun. I thought I saw flashlights down at the exit of Degner 2, and that's why. But he hasn't lost second place, though. And the car looks to be okay. It's not crabbing at all. Driver's opinion, Ross?
I think he just cooked the tires a little bit through that corner. I didn't see anyone else right next to him. Yeah, I think
okay.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too much of a push. Maybe the tires were too hot from a slide through a corner before. I'm not sure.
Hang on, the 7's out. We've lost the number 7 car from the GT3 battle. Out of the race. So that's another retirement. That's Ferdy Roman in the BMW Giovanna Iris car, automotive. Well, that's what, down now to 5 cars left in GT3? My goodness.
Didn't see any cautions or anything for that, although it happened pretty close to the Riemann or the other spin we saw for Bevan.
Yeah, I wonder if there was contact. That's very quick and very bizarre to bring out a retirement. So now we're down to 19 runners. I think Mauro Valencia might be out as well because he's been in the pit lane in the 138 car for a long time. I'm waiting to see if his number goes blue. And that's Christoph Canex as well, having a little bit of a battle.
Yeah, it all just kind of accordion there. Concertina effect.
And they're all LMP2s as well, which I find bizarre. And they're all just really closing up too much on each other. A little bit of battle and balling as well. And I think these are lapped cars as well. 6th in class, yeah. 6th in class, 8th in class, yeah.
Yeah, they might just be having to go at each other because there's not really much else to do for them at this point. There's so much of a gap. Although, Kanik would probably appreciate not having too much of that pressure right now.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? 4.8 seconds he's got to Zoltan Boda.
Yeah, there he is on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, there he is, yeah. And there's Tobias, who I thought was coming to the pit lane for a second. He's going to try and unlap himself. Tobias was in the commentary box at the start of the race, and for the majority of the race, to be fair, before he went off to do sim racing. It's one thing I've learned about you, like you esports drivers as well, and sim racers as well, is the fact is that you really don't care how much sport you intake. You will literally just drive and drive and drive and drive.
Yeah, that's what some of these guys do. Like anyone from the aliens down through, it just never stops. And yeah, it's just crazy the amount of seat time that some of these drivers will take in.
I think we've just actually lost audio. I'm not too sure. I think we're okay. Yeah, audio is good. Just having another check as well because getting several communications from the producers talking to them. I'm sure you might be getting some as well. But the current standings at the moment would see the Mugen Racing 21 take over as the championship leader. If they continue finishing third place, they'll be on 89 points. The second, Mugen Racing Sim Racing Car 20, will be on 76 points in second. Third in the championship for an LMP2, as there's contact there, a little bit of bumping and balling on lapping cars, mean through. It would be the Dead Hackers 95 squad, 72 points. Aspeto Forza Pointus as well, 99, will be on 50. Is that Valley Esports 90 on 37.5 points if they do win in the number 90 at the moment. So they'll move up into 5th place as well. In GT3, Mugen Sim Racing 88 will lead and they'll gain up 2 positions. They'll lead on 89 points going in, and the nearest rivals will be Mugen Racing Sim Racing, the Triple Eight team, on 65 points. So a big shift in GT3, and it's closing up in LMP2.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is.
Nice run. I like that.
Boda's actually, yeah, well done there. And the Boda's now within a second.
Oh, ho, ho. On Christopher Canex. He's gonna get him. 18 minutes to go. 1 minute to go. They're all pitted. He's been held up in traffic a lot.
Yeah, and it looks like that move got done on him from 6th place. Just finally got around him, and I think that was enough to slow him down, but it's game on. 18 minutes to go.
Where would you do it then as an overtake? Where would you pass for 3rd place? Oh, actually, he's going to have him here.
It might be
he's
right
lost
here,
it.
yep.
Christopher Canex getting on the exit, coming out of Degner 2, and really buckling under his own mistake there, on his own pressure. So up goes Zoltan Boda to 3rd place. Okay, so Ross, now you're Boda. How much pressure are you going to be under to keep that position?
Well, for how easy he went past, I think Kanik is just falling off on those tires, and he just can't really keep up with it at this point. Boda's
He's
just
been on for
really
a long time,
strong.
yeah. This is getting close now. I think several other people have joined the team speak to sit in, I can see. People have been connecting to stewards' rooms, even the commentary box.
Exit of spoon.
And that is the 137 once again off.
Attention, car backwards on the exit of spoon, watch out.
And that's the 2 race directors, actually. So Christian Lewis has returned to the booth. And that is the 137 at the control for, I think, the 1000th time today, is backwards. And I think he might actually be out of the race. Can you get it going again? Oh, okay.
He might have just been waiting for some cars to, unless he stalled it too, but
as clear.
That could have been possible as well. We've seen him stall it again. Although that car went in backwards at 220 kilometers an hour and didn't burst the engine. I found that surprising earlier on.
Yeah, it's a bit stepping on a balloon when you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he actually kept that thing in one piece, because it's such a high-speed section.
It was very, very well done. Very well held. In terms of the car not breaking into a million pieces.
Right.
They are glass, aren't they? They're just glass on wheels. That's what they are.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen some of these cars just go in backwards into a barrier at under 10 kilometers an hour, and just the wing pops right off, like it's made of Legos. It just off it goes.
It's really bizarre. I think that's a great description as well. These cars are Lego. I think that's exactly how I would describe them as well from now on. They are Lego. In terms of the commentators beforehand of Ed and Tobias, who was going to win the how many laps would we get to? I am currently winning on 375. So my gap between 370 and 385 is currently winning. So I'm feeling very smug about that.
Okay, so you guys, you took exact numbers, not an over-under, huh?
Around about that time, yeah. And to be honest, with 15 minutes to go, I just saw rain beginning to drop. So that rain is coming down now. So how much does that throw a spanner in the works?
That if it gets any more threatening than what it is, it doesn't look like it's too bad just yet. But it's a big enough track. They're pretty spread out. I mean, it could get it slick enough, and we're seeing a lot of these guys really coming to the end of their tire life, so it's...
Oh, didn't think of that either. That's a good point. Who's going to risk it then? Would you risk it if you're running down... let's say you're at... Well, let's just say you're Christopher Canex, and you're running 4th place. You've got nothing else to lose. You've got a gap behind you of 3 laps to Novak. Would you risk putting on a set of intermediates?
If it got to that point, if we started seeing any kind of spray, for sure. If it's... Because it only takes 1 spin from the person ahead of you, and the tires are, what, 15, 20 seconds, something like that, not even.
Yes,
so
about that,
yeah. I mean, you'd easily make that up for somebody just struggling to get back to pit road. So he's got nothing to lose. He's got a gap of 3 seconds behind, or 3 laps behind, so...
He's 3 seconds ahead, isn't he? Behind Zoltan Boda. I think I'd box. I'd take that risk. Although,
Yeah.
to be fair, saying that, if I was on single player mode, I'd probably just save the game so I can go back later just in case I've made a massive mistake.
We have Robert here from Rookie Monsters, who just wants to have a quick chat.
Fantastic.
With the 123 Asensa VRT.
Let's bring him in if we can.
Robert, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
How's it going? How was your race?
Honestly, not terrible. We've had a pretty average race in the 123. We were running as high as second, I think, on pit stop cycles, but we've just slowly tumbled back down the order. Got unlucky with a couple of code 80s, a few contacts that we probably shouldn't have had. Got a penalty for launching a Ferrari to the stratosphere. The usual stuff.
I'll tell you what, though, Robert, I enjoyed that one quite a lot in the commentary box, I can tell you, launching the Ferrari.
Yeah, the Ferrari deserved it, I'm sure. I'm sure it probably had a Weeb logo on it somewhere in the bin.
Yeah, the Weeb Nation has definitely been strong here at EERC for a little bit.
I mean, I guess
sorry.
thankfully they've all hit the wall, to be fair.
And Stan Vashaya is out of the race. So the 26 cars out of the race in the 26 squad. That's it. So we're down now to 18 runners.
Not a position for us. Uninterested.
How much then, Robert, as well? We're starting to see a few spots of rain out there. Are you worried about that towards the end of the race?
From everything I can see so far, it's not raining. But
we saw it turn 2.
If you say it is, then it might be. I don't think it's coming down hard enough to really cause any issues yet. We can go pretty far into the wet with these tires, especially since they're all like 800,000 degrees, because that seems to just be how the Suzuka circuit works on those front tires.
Not even thinking about the inters then?
Oh no,
Lovely.
probably not. Basically, slicks till the end and hope it doesn't crash. You're going to lose, over a minute in the box, and with 12 minutes to go, it's kind of...
The hill there. You've managed to get ahead of the 72 car, though, which I must admit is impressive as well. And you've got Tobias on board at the moment, who was in the commentary box earlier. So, well done. We've tried not to be biased for Tobias, but we've been biased.
Biased for Tobias. I like that.
I've been working on it all day.
He's been driving all right. Like I said, everybody in our team's actually done a pretty good job today. Considering I know some of them only started practicing on Friday due to various issues. We've all picked up the pace pretty quickly. A lot of us seem to get on quite well with this track too. And just a shout out to my main man, Bradley. Started the race, qualified faster than I could, and got told he was racing yesterday.
And that's a very late call-up, indeed. That's been the same for quite a lot of them as well. So
yeah, seems to always be the case here. Doesn't seem to matter. You always get to the race day and looking for drivers, Discord chat, and there's like 8 messages, and you go, oh.
Yeah, wake up, where's the surprise?
No.
I didn't know if Ross wanted to say anything as well, because I've been hogging for a couple of minutes.
No. I actually was looking up some of the weather while you guys were chatting. It just says possible drizzle right now, so it's sort of looming. But yeah, as Robert was saying, it's not too threatening at the moment.
Track's not slowing down any either. You can just kind of watch it and see, but it looks fine as far as I'm aware. We'll be good to the end of the race.
Fantastic. That's exactly what we want to hear. Got a battle for second at the moment going on between Martin Magulli and Zoltan Boda. They got 1.5 seconds, but as we've seen all evening, something will come along to stop that. And here it is now. We've got a yellow flag out in Sector 3. And that's why...
That's Alfie again. Yeah, I think he's really struggling at this point with the car.
That poor Ferrari now. I swear every time I've seen it, it's been backwards.
Oh, the Ferraris today, that team, the Ferrari squad, have had a really bad day. I don't know if you saw anything what happened earlier on with Chris Tompkins as well. Got taken out, had certain one after being spun around about 14,000 times.
Yeah, the Ferrari seems to be more akin to a Beyblade today.
Yes, that's exactly what I couldn't put it better myself, to be fair. So, is it celebrations tonight for you, Robert, or is it a bit of commiseration with the race?
Well, I'm already drinking, so I'm not really quite sure how I feel about the whole thing. I can't tell if it's like a sadness drink or just a celebration drink. I'm sure I'll figure out another couple of beers down the road.
Well, you've got to 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the race. The car's still running. I'd give that a thumbs up.
Yeah, for now, but you know what, like, given how my luck normally goes, and how even with 8 GTs on the track, I can still hit a GT at Spoon every single goddamn lap. You know, I fully expect the car to just expire right now.
Tobias was saying about how much he was nervous about doing the last stint as well, but he's been practicing all afternoon as well since he left the commentary box. I'm going to have to interrupt for a second because Zoltan Boda is going to go for a run here for second place.
Yeah, he's right there.
Is he going to go for a run into turn 1? He's a little bit too far back. Robert, completely disinterested here because, as you said, they're not your own cars, they're not your team, you don't really care about it. But who's your money on here for this battle for second place?
Well, just looking at the lap times wise, Boda's had more pace for a couple now, so I'd expect, depending on how hard Martin wants the white line, this one.
Yeah, Martin Mogulli, up in second place at the moment. Up at the top of Degner. I'm sorry, this is Degner. Tell it's been a long race.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, considering, I guess, there was a weird team thing, so technically the Asenza car is basically just a valet car for this weekend. Like, its driver lineup is entirely consistent of valet drivers, so I'm feeling pretty good about a first and a sixth. Wish it was first and a second, that'd be nice.
Yeah, first and second would be amazing, wouldn't it? First and sixth, I think, would take it as well. But as you said, valets are not completely the valet drivers. Yeah, that's what I did there. But I think that'd be a fantastic result as well for the team.
I think Massey will be happy, even though I don't actually know if he's alive just now. I think he's like, I think he's here, but he's like here in spirit. The poor man's just asleep.
Oh, dear. And I tell you what, though, as well. If half the people who said they were going to bed are still watching this race, is unbelievable. So it just proves how dramatic and gripping it can be. We're in, though, luckily, I'm delighted to tell everyone, into the last 6 minutes.
Oh, yes.
I think that's going to be a big relief for everybody. As we go down as well, the battle's still on for second place as well. Zoltan Boda going to try and get through, but he's just been lapping him behind Martin Mogulli for the past 2 laps, so it's going to take a miracle to get through here. Gap 4/10 of a second.
We'll see. There's still those 4 GT3s currently going around that I'm sure could come into contention at some point.
Oh, the only 4 GTs left.
Might be 5.
Oh, it is 5. Okay, good point.
I think Rimmon came back. I think we got another little car on the track for us. Yeah.
Yeah, Rimmon is back in P5. This is good. Bowley has said in the chat, "Nah, man, I can't sleep anyway." So he's just staying on. Is it going to be a move on the inside coming into the hairpin? A little bit too far back. Nice exit, though. And this is going to be Mugen versus Decker up towards the 200R. And then the long sweep at Spoon. I'd have him 130R. Do him at 130R.
Ooh.
He's just got to be real careful. He's closing in so fast, but he just doesn't have anywhere to go when he gets up on him.
Yeah, he's just struggling now down the back straight away past the support pit lane for where you actually go more rallying on the track compared to normal racing in real life. Into the 130R as well, too far back. So
130R is so sketchy. 30R too.
Got caught up, didn't he? 130R is terrifying. I don't care.
Especially just about every setup I've seen on the guys that I've been running near, they all get dirtier oversteer through 130R. And I don't know if you've seen the clip of the AFP 97 going through 130R where it just decides to turn full right into the wall. That's pretty much the fine line you're treading. You go in like 1 kph too much and away you go.
That's treading the fine line.
Yeah.
I would not want to do that. And we just saw as well Boda going wide, and it's cost him about a second maybe less, actually, looking at that. But he went wide at the exit at turn 1. 1.1, it did cost him a second. Yeah, he was 2 turns back, now it's 1.2. And a big slide coming to the top there.
Yeah, he's heating those tires up. He's been so strong under braking by comparison. Really just kind of tiptoeing into the corner trying to hold on to it. And,
it's wide at the exit there as well.
Yeah.
It all
So
depends on the driving style. There's a few you can take with a P2. A lot of guys like to really slow in and absolutely fly out of the corners, and setup also makes quite a big difference with it. Depending on your cambers, can entirely affect how your car handles under brakes. So you might find if Maguli has more camber in, he'll be really fast through the high-speed stuff like Spoon, but under brakes into the casino and that, it'll just suck.
Mm-hmm.
It's only got, what, 2 laps to go now, looking at that on the board? 3 minutes? Yeah. 146 as they've been doing, 149, which is the last lap for Diego Moscato, sorry, on the top.
I'm just looking for where he is on track.
Quite a distance away. I think he's round in the S's section.
Yeah, although these two have been kind of chewing into his lead just a little bit. Of course, he doesn't really have much to worry about, but I mean, they're down into the 30-second range.
Yeah, it's 37.9 actually at the moment. So you're right, they have been closing that down ever so slowly. I suppose because they're trying to fight each other, they naturally will close up. Usually we find it's the other way around, isn't it? They back off. But with GT and LMP cars, we find that actually you do close up ever so slightly. It's different to Formula cars. As you come through the S's section for the penultimate time, the next lap will be the last lap of the race, and it will be lap 383 taken. So I think, Edward, Tobias, I win with my comment there. Just a little bit of a nice thing. But coming down now as well, this is the opportunity he's got, because a little mistake there for Maguli coming out of Degner up towards the hairpin. I thought he was going to launch into the inside.
Oh, he's right.
Oh, he's again. See how much Maguli is sliding at the exit as well. I'm surprised Boda hasn't just sent it. Boda see a move.
Yeah, he really does need to just pick a spot and go for it, because he's just going to wear his tires out. I think he's trying to look for a mistake and just pry open a little bit of an opening, but he's got to be real careful not to overuse his car right at the end here.
Robert, if you were the manager of these guys as well, what would you be screaming at them?
Oh, fat.
Perfect. We're into the last minute now.
Perfect engineering.
Yeah, perfect. Last 60 seconds of the 12-hour. We are on the last lap of the race. Diego Moscato in the Valley Esports 90 leads this race. We are watching the battle for second still being decided on the track. This really is their last opportunity to go for it. And I think he's running out of opportunity. Where would you both go for the overtake? First off, let's go to Ross.
Oh, shit. I think anywhere that he can find a good braking zone. I mean, he might be able to work something up going into the hairpin if he can sneak up to him. Other than that, I'm not sure. He's just going to have to try and get a good run.
Robert?
I know with the car that we were running in the Asenza, we were very strong through the S's. It really means that you could fire through we could take like 2 wheels on the grass through the corners. You can really get to the inside of someone. See if you can just brave the dirty air enough coming into the long right-hander, you can get up the inside or to the outside even, go up through the left.
We'll have to wait to see, because we've cut away to look at the race winner. The number 90 squad at the moment in the Valle Esports. At the wheel is Diego Moscato, and comes out of the last corner, flashing the lights. Victory in the 12 hours of Suzuka for the number 90 squad, and it means a lot to them as they cross the line as well. Completely sideways. Now the attention has to turn surely to who is going to finish in second place. We're with it now, coming into 130R. It's gonna be Magullo, isn't it? It's gonna be there.
Yeah, he'll be able to hold it unless he has a mistake here coming into the last chicane bit, the complex.
Boda's
he's got a
giving
pretty
everything.
good run.
Oh, to the line. Oh, go on, give us a one to the line. Oh, he's just held it. Martin
Yes.
Magulio finishes second. Zoltan Boga finishes in third. Second then for the 95 for the D Hackers. The Mugen Sim Racing 20 finishes in third. And Christopher Kayak will finish in fourth place. Martin Novak in fifth on the board. And your squad there, Robert, the 1-2-3 VRT will finish in sixth place. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, not too bad. I think, like I said, really successful.
You could have sounded a little bit more cheerful.
Overwhelmed with emotion.
I know. I'm not back here.
I've had enough sim races where it's like, oh, we're so close but so far. It's just kind of a mute point at this point.
Yeah.
It's got to be good though to see him just coming to the end of such a long race.
It is. It's nice to see the car come home in one piece at the very least. It's always what we aim for these races, you know, especially in a league like this where things can be complicated at times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Absolutely,
thinking
yeah.
like Sebring turn 1 and stuff like that. I still have PTSD, please.
I rewatched that before coming into the commentary box, and let me tell you, I even know what you want about. I know how bad that was. So yeah.
If anybody mentions it now, my left eye twitches a little bit. It's fine.
It's like when you say Vietnam. You don't know, man. You weren't there.
Right there, man. You didn't come in to see all 4 cars blocking the track, man.
And we've got accidents and donuts going on here as well. In the middle of the
And
track.
donuts.
Good celebration at the end. Yeah, that's actually really good moves all throughout the field. We're seeing the Val Esports going to move up. They're in 13th in the points right now with 5.5, so they're going to jump probably at least into the top 10, if not further up.
The 88 takes the lead in GTE3, as you said. That's going to be that's going to be fantastic as well. As the 70 and 35 car finally settled their agreements on track with a little bit of what seems to be robot wars. I'm expecting one of those big, massive chainsaws to come out the front of one of the cars and just cut it off. He's driving backwards. I'll tell you what.
This is impressive.
Motor skills there. Motor skills. That's good stuff.
One quali lap in reverse, and it was not Suzuka. So this is some skill right here.
Can we please do that as a race one time? Get everyone to qualify backwards. I think that'd be fantastic.
I'm actually kind of impressed with Alfie.
I am, yeah. Can he handle Degner? He's done Degner.
Yeah.
Ferrari seems to be more stable going backwards than it does forward.
Oh, there you go. He's in the wall. That was a lot better going backwards than forwards. To be fair, that's the most I've seen of that Ferrari on track in one direction all race. So, yeah. They're all coming into the pit lane now after the closed down lap. And after we started with 37, 19 finished on the road. I think that's a pretty good result there for an endurance race. Okay, you two, before we get a couple of people in to talk to with the drivers as well, there's your race results. Diego Moscato wins 383 laps. Martin Magullo in second. Only 4 cars finished the race on the lead lap. Zoltan Boda finishes third. Christopher Kayak is in fourth. Martin Novak in the 23 squad is in fifth. Tobias is in sixth in the 1-2-3 squad. There you go, Robert. Great job for you. 72, Steve Jones in 7th place. David as well, Gerber in 8th place in the 95. The 66 squad as well in 9th, and the 86, Victor Ban in command of that after a very difficult race, finishes in the top 10 and gets some points. Further down on the board, DNF eventually for the 26 squad as well. Stan Viesta in charge of that. The 137 did actually finish the race, as did its team counterpart, the 138. After getting in trouble numerous times. In fact, the 137 was 7 laps ahead in 12th place, 13th for Mario Valencia as well on the 138. Giuseppe Pastor and Nicky as well DNF'd in the LMP2 field, as well as the 99 squad, the 13, the 232, delivering many action throughout the race, flipping over backwards at the end. The 28 car in 18th, the 96 is 19th, and the 85 squad finishing in 20th position. Further down the order as well in LMP2, we see the 36 squad of Riley McKibben down in 21st. Debreka as well, 5'11", down in 22nd place. The first retirement of the race for Jake Dewan, unfortunately, in the 97 squad being kicked out after contact down at the last corners. In the GTE3 categories, It's victory as well. We forgot to say it on the road, but victory for the 88 squad. Martin Malotto taking the victory after 344 laps. Championship lead as well. The 35 car finishes in second. Number 3 squad is third, 3 for 3. 70 squad finishes fourth. The 7th is in fifth. 92 is P6. 93 squad in seventh. The 18 in 8th, the 888 retiring overall in the race as well. So they've lost their championship lead, in the 510 finishing in 10th place. Only 6 finishers in the GTE3. The 45 Ferrari out as well, they're 11th. The 77 in 12th. Joe Lawrence in the BMW Motorsport, the 01 car finishing 13th. And the 444 as well, the Carway competition finishing 14th, last overall on the board. And they're the finishers.
Tough to see, yeah.
That's Chris on the board there as well, and Ross as well. So then, Ross and Robert, could you give you a driver of the day and wrap up there?
Robert, and after you.
I mean, I'm biased, so I don't know why you're asking me.
Oh, well, you can be biased.
I think I'd have to give it to Massey, to be fair. I know Diogo crossed the line, but when I was out on track, I could not, for the life of me, close the gap to Massey.
Ross?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Massey just for how he was able to stay pretty consistent. I mean, Mario out there was pretty good too. I don't know. I kind of was pulled in a few different directions, so it was hard to gauge what the the long term was for any of them. But
yeah,
total team effort. It was a great job by those guys in the 88 pulling up into first, and for the guys over in Valley Esport, they did a fantastic job to be able to bring this one home for the team.
Can hear the race directors having a little bit more fun on their keyboards at the moment, and I completely agree with both of you. It's actually some great racing. So, new leaders in both LMP2 and GT3 as well. That's going to spice it up. We're approaching the halfway point of the season. 12 Hours of Le Mans is next. Your predictions for both are there?
I mean, it's certainly a straight and narrow compared to Suzuka. We've seen all kinds of stuff happen there, but it's usually been at usually down in Indianapolis or through any of the complexes on the straightaways. I mean, it's just it's going to be interesting to see what the teams can bring.
Robert, how's your car looking there?
Well, I've done a fair few Le Mans races in my time, and I think I've started to get my head around how to drive on the new, I say new, it's like 2 years old at this point since they released the LMP2.
Yeah.
I've finally started to wrap my head around it, I think. So, we'll see. I'm always hopeful for a Valley 1-2, happening soon, TM.
Absolutely. We've got in the interview waiting room, Adrian Diego is going to join us as well. He's waiting in the wings. So I don't know if Ross, you can let him in as well to have a conversation.
Hello. Are we just doing the Ascenza room here now, is it?
Seems to be. Adrian, hello. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Fantastic. How did you find that race today?
Well, it was really fun to do. To be honest, it's been like the debut for most of the people here on our team and everything. It was really fun to do and see, to be honest.
Did you have did you have some nice stints out there then today in the night?
Well, we'll talk about the stage though, but still, like it wasn't really a mess. I think at the end of the day, we just accomplished the objective that we had. It was just keeping the car in one piece, and yeah.
Decent,
happy for it.
Decent points today as well. I mean,
yeah.
trying to convince Robert as well that it was decent, and he's not too sure yet. He's about a couple of beers away from finding out it was a good race.
He's not happy yet because he only saw that there is like 20 cars on the grid left, or the 12 hours.
Yes, I think that was the point. Yeah, Robert, please debrief with your man. We can sit. We can be a fly on the wall.
We've already debriefed. Actually, to be fair, I believe I was telling him most of the time through his stint that. As long as you're having fun, it's good. I don't care about your pace. You shut up and drive faster.
I thought that would be one, but I was hoping for some more juicy stuff, to be honest.
No, I think we've done a pretty solid job. I just think that a couple of people in the team maybe need to work on more 4 laps before a race.
I need some new pedals as well.
Yeah, maybe having an on-off switch isn't a good idea for the LMP2. You know,
Hang on. Have you got an on-off switch, Adrian?
Well,
Perhaps.
basically, I'm running like 70% dead zone on the accelerator and like 80% dead zone on the brake because if I don't, it just like accelerates and brakes by himself.
Okay, that might explain a couple of things as well. You definitely need some new brake pedals there as well.
I ordered it already on this morning, so it's on the way for the months. It's on the way.
that is a very interesting one going forward as well.
I know.
You better take care then because it's Le Mans next. Well, how are you looking at Le Mans then?
Oh, it's really good. I like that track. I'll be driving on another platforms like racing as well. So like, yeah, I like that track. So yeah, looking forward for it.
Do you think you could?
Pain.
Shut up, Roberto.
No.
Do you think you can get a victory there then, you two, Adrian and Robert? Do you think you can snitch it?
Let's talk about first finishing the race, okay?
Yes. Yeah. Another 12 hours though. That's going to be
Another
interesting.
12 hours of watching engines slowly barbecue. Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
no,
Suppose they did better than me back in M1 endurance leagues, where I managed to get 1 hour out of an LMP2 engine before it decided to turn itself into a barbecue. That was fun.
That happened to me in racing though, but like.
I need more beer for this.
I'm 17, so I can technically don't drink beer.
See, that's the advantages over there. Ross, I don't want to hog all the questions. You're also in the comment box if you've got anything to fire on. It's your call.
I mean, are you guys looking to change up any of the team order for the rest of the season as you go through the next races, or is it pretty much business as usual?
The team order is always just
a mess.
It's a feature.
It's a mess.
Basically, it comes around to about Thursday, and we go, so who's driving in what? And Massey just kind of shrugs and goes, oh.
Oh, dear.
Sounds about right. Yeah, actually.
It sounds
it
about
kind
that.
of worked. Just look at the ballot.
I drive with rookie monsters most of the time, and most of us do that for every single race, so I'm used to it.
Robert is used to stuff. He's the veteran here.
Simon's
the
not
veteran
coordinating.
with too many hours on our factor to actually be uncompetitive. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. I think we're getting the kickoff signal, unfortunately, to go bye-bye from broadcasting. So final words, please, from the three of you up here in the box and joining us in the interview room. First of all, to you, Robert, how do you rate the race and what has been your favourite moment today?
I think it's been a pretty good race, to be fair. My personal favourite moment has been the amount of GT3s that I've assaulted by going around the outside of them through the S's.
Adrian?
That's the same as Robert. It was a really fun race as well, and I think my favorite moment will be when I literally just put that big ass sticker on the Ferrari back in the last chicane. That was kind of fun. I lost the brakes there, so yeah, I'm sorry.
We all saw that, and I think that was my favorite moment of the race. Ross, over to you.
I just hope that we get to see a lot more finishes like we had today, where it just it gets real close and right to the very end after such a long endurance.
Fantastic. And I suppose that comes back to me as sort of being the new boy here today who's been thrown in at the deep end. I think I've swam, luckily, or floated.
Oh, you've done fantastic. This has been great. You guys did such a good job.
Thank you. I don't know who's going to sign off the broadcast, because this is the problem when you've not got a comcam on. You can't hold up a little piece of paper saying, "Do I end it? Do you end it?" So yeah, I think I'll sign off as well with saying it's been an absolute great race here. 12 hours of Suzuka for the EERC. It came down to the last lap in a battle for all of the drivers. GT3 got settled quite early on, but the LMP2 battle, 4 cars still on the lead lap. My thanks to Tobias, to Edward, alongside as well. My thanks to Tom, my thanks to Ross, my thanks to Adrian, and thanks to Robert, and as well, thank you for joining me up here in the commentary box and to all of us. And it's the 12 Hours of Le Mans next month in the middle of May, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, me.